Warning, we are a spoiler-based podcast. At times, we are also an offensive podcast, and we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. This is your final warning.
Hello, welcome back to Cinematic Anarchy. I am back after like a month of being away. What's up, guys? I'm here with Chris.
Hey.
And Omar.
Hello.
And the dog, who's asleep.
Well, not really. She's
chilling. She's good. Fucking.
Yeah.
So this week we're talking about We Still Kill the Old Way. This was a good fucking movie, you guys.
It was pretty badass.
It was pretty good once I got into the right film. You know, I started watching the wrong film before I got to watching the right film. But, this was a pick by Mr. Omar, who's currently showing around an older picture of himself. We're discussing weight loss routines and my lack thereof just a few moments ago before we went on the air. So, We Still Killed the Old Way, which was, I guess, it was dubbed sort of a cross between, what was it? Reservoir Dogs.
I will say Reservoir Dogs meets Rise of a Foot Soldier. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Rise of the Foot Soldier, that they were all football hooligans that became criminals.
That's why I love having
but this
people
was
around.
It was kind of much younger kids that were just trying to be gangster, trying to be badasses. They were doing some street business. But they were all around compulsively mean for no fucking reason, just to, I guess, make their mark, I would say.
Yeah.
I never got why they were so mean. However,
because they can be.
Unfortunately, I come across groups of characters like that aren't only, not only doing crime for profit, but also just doing bad things overall.
I have an ex like that.
I watched this film, and one of the things that I observed was the fact that these children in this movie just didn't seem to have a clue about the peril that they were in. To the point...
Right? Oh my god!
Yeah,
this dude's hanging upside down by a fucking chain. And he's like, fuck you. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of your daughter. Like,
you really
get on your knees like your pussy brother did. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You are on a fucking meat hook. Upside down. You're not getting out of this. What?
Yeah. I love the other guys that were tied to the chair too.
Yeah.
When I get out of this, I'm gonna kill you. When I get out of this, no. No.
You're not getting out of this. How do you not comprehend that you're not getting out of... Like, they just fully fucking explained that they're all these, like...
Those kids were a meme waiting to happen. It's bold of you to assume you're getting out of this shit.
Right?
Bold of you to assume you're getting out of this.
I think that the problem with them is, and it's a problem with a lot of pack and gang mentality, is that, like these old fellers were talking, there's no one-on-one anymore. It's a bunch of you versus one. Because they don't fight one-on-one.
Yeah.
There is no one-on-one. It's literally, we're gonna have 50 of us, and we're gonna gang up on 1, 2 you guys, and this is what our version of a fair fight
and
is.
act like we're badasses because of it.
Yeah.
Because yes, nothing is more badass than not being able to fight them in one-on-one and needing a whole gang of dudes to do it.
Right, having 8 fucking full-grown, big-ass dudes on one tiny little old man? Come on.
Hey, he got a pretty good lick in first.
He's fucking...
He got a couple of punches in, but, there were too many of them.
I want to make sure that I saw this right. The dude didn't even have brass knucks. He had wooden knucks.
Okay,
no,
so...
I think they were golden.
I don't think so. It looked like they were wood.
I thought they might have been, like, steel or iron.
I thought they were golden steel or iron. Like a
Okay.
golden bronze color, like that.
Just a few times that I saw the knucks, I honestly thought it looked like they were wood. Especially when he dropped them the first time. That,
He hit a kid that he pretty much lost the notion of everything there. That was good.
I really do feel like this is sort of a telltale movie. It really kind of... Okay, I've just skipped a few brain beats right there. A telltale movie of something that something is something and something
Things
or other.
and words.
Words and things. There you go. Exactly. This is something that you can definitely see within, like, gang mentality now. Like, organized crime, there was actually a level of respect, 50, 60 years ago, and it sort of devolved into this sort of pack of wolves mentality that we have right now with a lot of gangs.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of respect. Your brother could take you out at any moment.
But that's what destroys everything. The lack of a set of standards and rules. The reason why organized crime was alive and well for so long, and is still alive and well today, is because of the set of rules. And at the time it got so badly decimated, is because a lot of people forgot the set of rules.
Or blatantly ignored them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no honor amongst thieves. That's kind of how I felt about the young men in this group.
It is the human element. There's going to be honor amongst individuals. But there's going to be some individuals in the group of individuals that will have none. And they will fuck everything up. And that's the problem. My grandpa used to say, all ideologies work really well on paper.
I was really hoping that this would have gone a different way when I found out that the main girl, the one that almost got gang raped in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
When I found out that she was
the detective's
daughter, I was really hoping that the detective would sort of flip sides and work with them. I was hoping.
That would have made it too much of a movie. It's still
Elaborate.
It's still her daughter, and she's still gonna be protective of her daughter. And she didn't really find out until the very end, if you notice.
I like how her partner was just like, "Oh, your daughter knows how to take care of herself. She'll protect herself."
Yeah, right?
Don't worry about your daughter in the middle of a
fucking
gangland
kid.
battle.
Well, yeah, that was too much of a movie moment, because you will have to be really stupid to tell a mother, relax, your daughter will be fine.
While fucking shots are going off.
Not for nothing, but if the girl knew how to take care of herself,
she wouldn't have ended up in that jam either way.
Been in this position.
But it's also a classic tale of girls falling in love with assholes.
Yeah.
Because they either think they can change them, or I don't understand what the deal is. But it's a historical fact that girls love the assholes.
But see, that's the thing, though. He wasn't an asshole to her until after he fucked her.
Yeah. And some girls love the assholes before too.
It's like...
Well, and you've probably seen this more than I personally have, but there is definitely a subset of guys out there that are the type of guys that put on a good face until they get what they want out of you, and then you find out who they really are.
Yep. Dealt with it plenty of times. Men suck.
I got a good buddy.
I believe...
Former good buddy that was that way. 8 kids in. And
how many?
8.
What
as far as I know.
Hell?
He only has contact with a few. But he is... I think I've actually told you guys tales of this young man. That he has all female children except for the last one, which was a boy, and now he's satisfied.
Oh my god.
But he was... toxic male.
Sounds like a very, very toxic male. Toxic masculinity.
I and him are no longer friends. 'Cause he was a good friend for a long time. But he was never the guy that you want your daughter or your mother or your sister or whoever the hell he happens to be going after to date. He is definitely... You see this man walk into your well, any female's life, and immediately you want to throw up the warning signs. Warning. Back off. I know who this guy is.
There's a big problem with a lot of guys. I guess they haven't matured. They use love to get sex.
Use the word love to get sex.
Yeah. No, use love.
They don't necessarily mean it.
Not necessarily the word, the whole concept of love. They don't even have to say I love you, but if you're showing a woman's feelings when, don't show something that you're really not about, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, don't.
Because
there are plenty of guys who they'll take you out on a whole fucking date night for weeks or months and fucking do all this extra shit, make you feel super special, and then you find out that he's doing the same thing with 4 or 5 other girls when you guys aren't together. And then you're like, oh, wow, I can't really trust anybody at all ever again.
And that will give a woman trust issues, definitely. And I will say, I guess the most manly and bravest thing you can do is tell a woman the truth about your intentions and give her a choice to decide what to do with it.
Exactly.
Because if a woman wants to have a booty call, that doesn't make her a bad woman.
And nowadays,
it's okay.
Women are fucking so much more about just give me what I want, we'll be good. There doesn't have to be strings attached. Fucking whatever. Women are embracing their sexuality now. And fucking... it's really not that hard to get laid and fucking just lay out your intentions on the table to, at the very beginning of everything.
And I'm gonna do this in the all fairness category here. There are some women out there that are just as bad as some of the guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Especially in, Lawrence and Methuen and Haverhill, my God.
I've run across a couple of girls that are all they really want is they want several guys to just kind of take care of them. I don't want to be in a relationship. I want what I want, and I want you to give me what I want.
Oh my God, I know people who are actually faking polyamory just because they don't want to do anything for themselves. They're just collecting partners just so that they don't have to do anything for themselves, and they fucking get taken care of and shit. And it's just mind blowing that people don't see this happening in front of them.
Some people don't care.
Some people don't care.
Some people genuinely don't care. That's how that kind of works. It's, I don't mind being with you and sharing you with all these other people because you're taking care of me. So who gives a crap,
Yeah. You have all kinds.
Why am I censoring myself? I just censored myself right there mentally. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives an F?
I just absent-mindedly censored myself for no reason. It's I just wanted to drop the F-bomb, and it's crap. Crap.
The bomb bombed.
So no, this movie, do you feel it would have worked with anybody particularly, I want to say A-list?
It would have worked. Even if you want to do an American version of it, it would have worked too. It would have worked either way because it was a great story, and it was a story. As far as the girl falling for this type of dude, it's something that happens all the time. We see it happen.
Oh yeah.
Most women I know appreciate good men only because they have been in situationships with guys like that.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
And it happens. So it would have worked either way, no matter who you put in it. I mean, if you have people in mind, I wouldn't think of anybody because I really like this little crew.
I can see like Robert De Niro and Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay. Robert De Niro and Joaquin. Okay, so we're Americanizing the movie. So we're taking this out of British hands now.
Yeah.
We're casting the American version of said movie. So Joaquin Phoenix.
MGK as Aaron.
Who?
MGK?
MGK.
Oh my, Machine Gun Kelly?
Oh yeah, it's Aaron.
If you said the words, I would have been like, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. Machine Gun Kelly is Aaron.
On this movie, I would have had probably the cast. I would have had Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay. So I got Robert De Niro in my head. I think if you're going to put De Niro in there, you're talking about some old gangsters. I would definitely put Pacino in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Robert De Niro, Pacino,
And
Joaquin Phoenix, and
Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Yes.
I mean, you got to get the guys from the really good gangster movies. You got Liotta, you got Pesci. You could throw in there. You know, they're all getting a little long in the tooth.
What's his name? JP? That's fucking, like, maniacally laughing and fucking angry, just, like, constantly bursting out.
As the detective, I would have had John Turturro and the lady that played Ray Liotta's wife in Goodfellas.
No, you get somebody who would spot on look like the girl from the British movie, Chelsea Handler.
There you go.
There you go. She looks exactly like her. That's who I thought it was at first. I was
I kind of want to just throw Anna Kendrick in as like the girl that almost gets gang raped.
Yeah, but she's old for that one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because these are like teenagers.
Yeah, these are teenagers. I will say
you
for the
detective, have an older ringleader.
I'm not thinking of looks. I'm thinking more of personality, like acting personality, able to do that. Those John Turturro and I can't remember the name of the lady that played Ray Liotta's wife and Dr. Melfi on The Soprano.
Oh,
the Google.
Yeah, I want to say
the
Lauren
Google.
something or other. Gee, off the top of my head, I have no idea. And I would Google things, but it would definitely mess with what I'm doing right here. So, for that matter, there's several guys in The Sopranos that could actually pull off. What's his name? He was. He did a Netflix television show recently where he played a gangster that was sort of ushered off to like.
Man, the guy from Bruce Springsteen's band, Stevie Van Zandt.
Steven Van Zandt. There you go. That's who I was thinking about.
Lorraine Bracco.
Okay.
I like her as the detective.
Lorraine. I was close.
Lorraine, yeah, you were close enough.
Quite close enough.
Lorraine Bracco and George Turturro, I like her. I like them as the detectives.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Because John Turturro is kind of emotional, but he can be pretty icy when he wants to too.
I like the idea of having Van Zandt as part of it because he's got a mouth on him too. He could play, the older fella. The one that seemed to be half deaf throughout the entire movie. He'd go from talking at a regular volume to literally screaming in your face. He would be perfect as that guy.
Oh yeah, suddenly just exploding.
Just exploding all of a sudden.
And then go, give us a pint, Mitch.
He could get right up in your face and be kind of creepy. And then, you know who else would be, what is his name? From the New York Dolls? Buster Poindexter. I forget his actual name.
Yeah, Buster Poindexter. I don't remember his name neither. He did a lot of music back in the day by himself also, after the New York Dolls.
Because he actually was in Free Jack. He was pretty good in that movie.
Yeah.
And there was another film that I remember him being part of that I just can't place right now.
We got too many gangsters in that crew now, though.
Oh, well, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Gang of old men versus a gang of asshole kids.
Yeah.
Hi.
But, I mean, you could almost make this like a TV show, like an epic-length, like, miniseries.
I also would like Bruce Willis and, as one of the old dudes, one of the old gangster dudes. He will do great
Bruce Willis.
Yes, he will be great at one of those.
Well, I guess that would make a...
Because he has played some pretty good criminals. Have you seen The Whole 9 Yards?
Yes. Well, he was like a really charismatic criminal in that. Like, he was like...
Just like this guy.
Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk was
It was
great
a fantastic film. Him and...
He was a thief.
The late, great Danny Aiello.
Danny Aiello, man. Rest in peace, Danny Aiello.
Honestly, I would have chosen him for the film if he was...
Yeah, if he was still around.
It's a posthumous nomination. He's not around anymore.
Yeah, Danny Aiello would have done good at that film too.
Actually,
I will change Leota for... I will change a couple of those for Leota. I will change Leota for Danny Aiello and one of them for Bruce Willis, whichever.
Well, Leota is the only reason I really like Leota is because Leota has that ability to go from just being kind of held back and kind of creepy to like just in your face, just maniacal,
super emotional. He could manage his acting emotions. He's pretty good at that.
I could see him as well, honestly, I could see him as the leader. I would put De Niro in the torturer's spot.
Yeah, De Niro could be the torturer.
It would be weird for De Niro to play backseat to Leota, but
no, I see it. De Niro wouldn't care.
So yeah, I don't care as long as you make sure that you write the character well.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's done villains. He's done all kinds of things. I think either Leota or Bruce Willis could be. I like Bruce Willis for the leader though.
The thing is, I'm trying to think of some of the younger guys because I could think of the old men with no problem, but some of the younger guys to lead up the gang of hooligans.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly will be perfect for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just I'm trying to think about who I would put in there, but like everything.
Throw like all of today's mumble rappers in.
Right.
Yeah, you can get all this
6ix9ine
and just mumble their asses through the whole movie.
All these guys who just
mumble.
Oh, never mind. I'm not even going to get into it.
Fucking.
Don't get me started
all
on
these
that
rappers
shit.
that are screaming like Treyway or Bloods or Crip or whatever the fuck.
You put them in there, get tortured.
I listened to a lot of rap when I was younger, and I have been introduced to a lot of rap recently, and
6ix9ine is still screaming Treyway, and he just snitched on the entire crew. Like, bro, what are you doing?
He'll get killed one of these
He's gonna
days.
die.
I'm telling you this. The thing is that those of us that came up in the 80s and 90s listening to the rap and there's still good hip hop being made, it's just not on the radio. You just have to look for it.
Yeah.
Black Thought of the Roots, for example, put out 2 solo projects that are excellent, and he did each project with a decent producer, the whole project.
I got news for you though. The people that need to hear the good stuff are not the ones that are going to search for it.
Exactly, this is the truth too. So the mainstream rap has become undefendable. I remember you used to be able to tell, for example, my grandparents, because my grandpa used to know a lot of music, so he recognized a lot of jazz samples in hip hop done in the 90s and 80s, and you could 80s mostly, but you could tell him because he recognized the music, he would take an interest and listen. And you could definitely defend what somebody was talking about and what they were on. Not anymore. Everybody's just talking straight up shit.
Yeah.
And not only shit, but the same shit. All of them.
Yeah.
They're all, as far as they're concerned, gangs of one.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. You know? And they have influence, obviously, because look where they are. They're in that light for a reason. They've been placed in that light because that's what, you know, the record industry, the corporations that manufacture this kind of image, this is what they want you to see.
Yeah.
You know, if they wanted you to see the stuff that you got to dig for, they would put it out there.
Well, I believe that, I'm sorry for being a conspiracy theorist, but it's all part of a plan. You got to understand that back in those days, it was very empowering music. Mm-hmm. The powers that be, those didn't want the poor people to be empowered. So they allow all this garbage to be out in the forefront, and the good shit get pushed back and relegated to the underground.
Yep.
And that's basically the problem that is. There's actually a documentary, if you have a time to see it on YouTube, it's called What Happened to Hip Hop. And it will tell you that actually MTV, at some point after the disappearance of Yo MTV Raps and all that, had a list of rappers that weren't going to play because their music was too intelligent. And I'm talking about hip hop artists. Jean Grey, Mos Def, among them. Basically hip hop that brings some kind of a message.
Right.
Not getting played on MTV. And it's excellent hip hop, lyrically and musically, but they don't want it.
No.
And that's happens on BET and all that. BET used to be great, a great outlet for people that wanted to know hip hop that didn't live in certain cities. Not anymore. All you find is garbage.
It's all kind of leading towards that attitude of wanting people to be sort of mindless consumers of everything, music, television.
Yeah, exactly.
Film.
That's what you want people to be.
So
They're easier to control.
I think that's sort of one of the underlying messages of the film too, if I'm not mistaken, is that you're talking about these guys who are steeped in rules, who are steeped in a very, what is now considered an old way.
Yeah,
in regards to their antics. Even though, in their town, even though they were definitely criminals, they were considered good guys.
Because they had certain rules and certain standards that they carried themselves by.
Yeah.
You have to look at that, and it's a good example. It's a movie I would watch probably with my 14-year-old to basically give him a sense of what it is that has this shit all haywire.
And then you've got this group of kids who are definitely steeped in today's standards, which is sort of a standard of mindless self-involvement and just total anarchy.
Mindless self-absorption, man.
Fuck the rules, fuck the government, fuck pretty much everything, and we do what we want.
And mindless self-importance.
That was, throughout the entire movie. I did not understand for the life of me why these kids, even though they're being tortured to death, I mean, they're literally just spitting in the face of these guys. And it's like, you're going to get killed. Like, literally going to get killed. And you're barking at this guy like, once I get out of here, you're not getting out of here.
Right?
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Let me out of here. I'm going to kill you. Untie me. I'm going to kill you. And they did untie that one kid. He's like, we're going to let you go.
Fucking, like a dumbass, he reaches for whatever the fuck was on the table.
He could have run for the door.
He could have run for the fucking door.
He knew it, though. He says, I have never killed anybody unarmed or sitting down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knew that he was going to do it. He's like, I know exactly what he's going to do. They left the weapon out in the open for him. He knew exactly what he was going to do the second he untied him. He lunged for that weapon. He's like, bam. Yep, I knew what was going on.
Dude just let his fucking friend get nailed to a fucking chair.
That's that no honor amongst thieves thing.
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't care what's happening to you. It's not happening to me.
Exactly.
And that's one of the other underlying problems with our current society is that don't give a fuck attitude. I don't give a fuck about my brother. I don't give a fuck about my family. I just do what I do for myself. And the problem that you have with that is like, I can sit here and say, hey, look, I give a fuck about everybody around me. But you got one person in that mix that lives by the don't give a fuck attitude, and it makes it very difficult for you to continue to have that attitude.
Yep.
Because it's tough for you to give a fuck about somebody that also does not give a fuck about you. And you can try as much as you want, but if they live by that attitude, I give no fucks. Well, that's fantastic. You give no fucks. I give a fuck about you. Do you care about that? No, I don't care. I do what I want for myself. It's tough to care about a person that only lives that way. And I've tried.
Been there, done that. It's not fun.
No,
It is tough. It is tough, and I've been in that experience, and it has happened where I had to cut off somebody very dear to me because of that. And you could wish somebody, you could want to help somebody so much until you start doing yourself a disservice by helping this person.
It's unfortunately an attitude that's sort of worldwide right now.
Prevalent.
And I blame a lot of it on Facebook.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame it on Facebook. I blame a lot of it on people that don't know how to regulate their social media intake or output. You know, you have
Nowadays, people
Facebook, you
believe
have
everything they see. People believe everything they see online. They don't try to fact check. They don't try to fucking do any kind of research or any of that, even though they have literally the entirety of the world's knowledge at their fingertips.
See, I don't really have too much of a problem with people that believe everything they see. I don't really have too much of a problem with that. It's not a great way to live.
Oh yeah.
What I have a problem with is not so much those folks, is that special subsect of folks that decide to make their own truths. It's not that they don't believe everything that they see. It's that they read everything and then say, you know what? I don't believe a fucking thing you say. This is my truth.
Oh, kind of like the people who, like... Okay, so, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there have been, like, thousands of people who are saying that Trump can run for another 2 terms if he gets impeached. And No! It's not a thing!
If he is in office...
in the fucking, like...
If he is in office for another 2 terms, it's because he did what everybody suspects he's going to try to do, and that is instill himself. He is going to create a war. We will get to that after the break.
Yeah. Tea time with honey!
He is going to create a war and then instill himself as basically a dictator. Like, he won't let go of the presidency until the war is resolved, which is actually something, from what I hear, he could do. Like, legally. And maybe I'm just reading things that I'm not supposed to be reading, but they were from fairly reputable sources.
You're paranoiing yourself.
I feel like tweak, bro. Like,
a lot of people are worried that he's going to try to instill himself as a dictator.
Yeah.
That's why he's been...
Of course he's going to.
He's going to
do everything he can.
I don't put it past him at all.
How many Democratic countries has he visited since he's been in office?
Yeah, no.
He's visited with a lot of people that are known dictators.
Yeah. He's trying to get tips, man. Tips and tricks.
So I implore our listeners, our watchers, to take a little bit of time and figure out how to put away the don't give a fuck attitude. And try to start giving a fuck about what's going on around you and the people that it affects.
Yeah.
You know? If you're one of those people that live by the I don't give a fuck, I do for me attitude, think about how it affects people around you.
All you need is love.
Beatles said it best, right? Then John Lennon went on, Imagine.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we will go ahead and leave that there. Fantastic film. Only got rated a 6 on IMDb. Felt that could have gotten a little bit more.
That could have done better, like, with the rating.
I feel like a lot of that 6 was not so much the film, but the fact that if you look at it, these are all bit characters from many other movies. So these are all like guys that were like side characters in other movies that were brought together for one film. That kind of film wouldn't do well or get critically rated well here either.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of B-list actors here and you put them all together in one film, you're not going to get much more than a 6.
True that.
I think the film itself had a pretty good message. And I think he was saying there's a sequel to the film.
Yeah, we still steal the old way.
Yes, which I need to go see.
So basically you see at the end what they're talking about.
Yeah, they're going to run.
I don't think I'm going to... Well, the other movie, you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I paid attention.
Well, the other movie starts them doing that.
Okay.
But then that other one has like a lot... Because I saw that one first, actually. I actually thought I was recommending you that one.
Yeah.
I discovered that because I saw them both, and I saw We Still Kill the Old Way. We Still Steal the Old Way was the one that I actually saw.
I was only disappointed by this film because they bothered to use the tagline, or not the tagline, but the review on the front of it that said that it was like Harry Brown meets Reservoir Dogs. And when I look at it, other than the fact that Harry Brown was an older fella in that film, when I look at it, this is nowhere near... I mean, there was nowhere near as much violence, vulgarity, or whatever in the film.
And they've referenced that movie, the Harry Brown movie.
Yes. They referenced a lot of different movies.
Yeah.
They referenced quite a few.
They've referenced The Italian Job.
Yeah.
Because they told you remember that job in Turin in '69?
Yeah.
Yeah, they referenced The Italian Job. They referenced Harry Brown when they say, that they killed that old man. It was those those bastards, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They reference a few movies there. I enjoyed it. But the other one starts them doing exactly that. But it has it has like twists and turns, that you're not expecting in the movie. Because they do that, but they also... It's the beginning of the movie, so I'll say it. They let themselves get caught for a reason. And if you watch it...
Spoilers!
If you watch it, you'll love it.
Right. And I was, like I said, I was hoping for just a little bit more in regards to the violence. I think it was very toned down for what kind of movie it was.
I don't know, man. My heart dropped into my stomach when he almost threw that baby over the ledge.
Yeah, right. That...
Mind you,
I guess
very fake.
I know.
I guess we got the parental instincts kick in. Because the baby was like zipped up. They have these plastic things in cold places like that where you zip up a kid. Like in big cities like that where not everybody drives, they have those things.
Has like the plastic shield around the stroller.
And probably the kid was strapped up.
But still, he's like fucking throwing this stroller around, shaking it all over the place.
And then when he put it in, he just slammed it down like boom.
Yeah, this kid's gonna get fucking whiplash and...
Not for nothing, that was probably the worst acting in the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because he should have acted like there was at least a little bit of weight to that. Because if there was an actual child in that seat, they could have done something like put a weight in the chair or something. This was an obviously empty chair, and it was basically voiced over sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was probably the worst acting in the entire movie. It's like...
My heart still dropped into my stomach, though. I'm just... Motherfuck! Baby!
At least act like there's a baby in the chair. Right. But no, he's just flinging it around like it's an empty seat.
At that moment, my baby or not, I probably would have gotten killed if I would have seen something like that happen.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it was...
I don't know why that bitch still lives there.
Yeah, at that point I would have been gone.
Right? Like, the second they walk away, you pack your shit, you find someone away from there that you can stay with.
And the guy that robbed was an ex-cop.
And he didn't fucking report it? Like, come on!
Wasn't he the guy that they were saying kind of brushed a lot of that stuff under the rug? Like, he was taking bribes. Yeah. They actually discussed it.
Yeah, he was a dirty cop. And on the second movie, he helps them.
I'm not surprised.
On the second movie, he helps them out.
He was helping them in the first movie, too. Just not, within that timeline. He was helping them before.
I like the cute love story between the old guy and the lady that is from the neighborhood.
Yeah, that cute.
There was a couple of love stories. He left his life in Italy or Spain behind to come back to her. But like there was also that love story between the.
Well, he came back to stay in the neighborhood pretty much. He didn't go.
I don't know if I should call the kid in this movie the jelly spined one or the smart one because he kept out of like everything. He's like, okay, I know y'all are doing this, but I'm not doing that. And I know y'all are about to do this, but I'm going to run the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
just wanted to be... He wanted to be both a good kid and to fit in.
I think he wanted to be alive.
You can be in it. The problem with that thing is that in real life, probably that kid would have gotten killed in that environment. Because you cannot be in it and not of it.
That kid turned his flight instinct up to 11. Because he was all flight, no fight.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of flight.
Alright, I'm out of here. See you later. Goodbye.
And that's another thing. You can't be so needy for approval that you end up in things that you don't have it in you as a human being to do.
And, I'm watching this movie and a lot of this, like, it felt this kid might have just become part of this gang.
Yeah.
Because he was sort of experiencing things like, whoa, no, this is way too far. No, this is way too far. How long have you been part of the gang that you didn't know that they do this kind of shit?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Any final thoughts on the film before we head on to...
Good fucking movie.
It was good. It was badass.
I agree. I did not have a moment of lack of enjoyment from that.
Yeah.
I am not articulating myself very well today.
It happens.
I am going to tell you, I did.
Do you have your coffee?
I Irished up my coffee a little bit.
Oh, you Irished up your coffee? That explains it. Well, enjoy.
I felt the cold coming on, and I said, nope, we're going to kill that with kindness or
unkindness.
liquor.
Yeah.
So, That's the only shot that I'm taking, though, because I'd like to be able to drive you home after everything's said and done.
It happens.
And I figure we got a good topic for Tea Time with Honey.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we'll be talking for a couple.
President stupid fuck.
Yeah, and they don't have to reach back to figure out what president that is. It used to be one guy. We don't think of him that way. We look back at George W. and go, actually, he wasn't all that bad, was he?
He makes George W. look like Einstein.
He looked...
Honestly.
You put Trump and George W. next to each other. It's like basically putting George next to Quail.
Well, you could say George W. is like the Mercedes-Benz of dumbasses, and Donald Trump is the Rolls-Royce of dumbasses.
That's an old damn car too. We're talking classic Rolls-Royce.
No, he's the brand new 2019 Rolls-Royce of dumbasses.
I don't know, man. Trump kind of makes Bush look like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, this is incredible.
It's a beautiful neighborhood.
The length of self-importance. You can be so much into yourself and into your ego that you endanger your people that you're supposed to lead.
We're talking to film folks here. Let's put it in this term. Honestly, George Bush compared to Trump is like taking Tom Hanks and comparing him to Pauly fucking Shore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Shit.
Damn.
If you're going to put it in film terms, there you go. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a very quick break. Let our sponsors identify themselves, and we'll be right the fuck
Sponsor,
back.
show your face.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are ready for Tea Time with Honey. This week we are talking about politics again and bullshit.
The politics.
Things that are happening in the world.
The politics.
Oh God, fucking makes me want to vomit.
You said the same word twice. Politics, bullshit. Isn't that the same word?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Basically. Especially nowadays.
So what the fuck is happening in Iran? So the U.S. Embassy got attacked.
Yes.
Trump had one of the top Iranian generals assassinated, killed in a drone strike, whatever. And now we're getting ready for World War III, apparently. According to, the memes of every social media site ever right now.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
Am I allowed to...
Yeah, no, by all means, fucking chime in.
This is, first of all, disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking of this on political level. I'm talking about all the fucking jackasses out there that see this shit happening, and their response to what's going on is not to damn Trump or damn Iran for what the fuck they're doing right now, the dick-swinging contest going on between the two countries. No, their response is to get on social media and fucking make a meme.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck you and your goddamn memes. This is not something that you should sit here and
take lightly.
And take lightly. You're not supposed to make jokes about it. Honestly, you're going to be making jokes all the way until they drag your ass across the continent and out into some freaking war zone because they decide to institute the draft to justify the response that they made.
If anyone asks, I have bone spurs.
If anyone asks, I'm 43. They don't want me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're safe.
We're safe.
Yay!
I'm sorry. Unfortunately,
I'm fucked.
Unfortunately, they wanted gender equality in this country, so women are just as fucked as men now.
Damn. But
so much for that.
You get to take that gender equality with all the wonderful benefits that come with it. I'm not saying anything against gender equality. My apologies. I'm just saying. I'm just saying my daughter's just as fucked as her boyfriend is right this second.
Yeah. Fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about all of this. On one hand, like, the guy that was killed, fucking General whatever the fuck his fucking name is. I don't have the article in front of me right now. Soleimani, okay. General, what's his face? he was basically a terrorist.
Yeah, he was supporting.
He was an evil human being. However, that doesn't deter from the fact that Trump is trying to take us to war in the middle of his impeachment as a way to distract us so he doesn't get taken out of office, or exactly what you fucking said earlier before we were fucking recording. Fucking, he's trying to take us to war so that he gets to stay in office.
Right. Well, I wouldn't be surprised that if he would use a tactic like that.
He's probably it would have been easier to stay in office, to just shit like he did, and shit like he does on everything else in life.
Yeah.
It would have been easier. I think he's doing that to divert attention from it, because, he could still be legally elected to a second term, and he could just shit on that, throw some money around like he does at everything, and stay. I think he's trying to divert attention from the process that he's going through right now.
Again, not entirely surprised at all.
No, not at all.
Sounds like what he
But
does.
I mean, he said that Obama was going to do the exact same thing a few years ago. He fucking... he spewed his bullshit all over fucking Twitter a few years ago when Obama was still president, and said that he was going to do this exact same thing as a fucking diversion tactic. And what the fuck is he doing? Exactly what he accused Obama of doing. God, this guy is a hypocrite.
I believe he also accused Clinton of doing it.
Yeah!
He's always been in that position, though. I mean, you just look at his history of tweets. First of all, Twitter, for him personally...
It's just like a personal diary.
It's literally a personal diary of just fucking mistakes.
Yeah.
He goes and speaks out about things that he pretends to feel strongly about. And let's be honest.
I mean, that's exactly what social media is, though. It's your personal diary, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he takes it too far!
Way too far.
Let's be entirely honest. If you look at the history of the man that is our current president, he has a history of being the guy whose opinion is dictated by who happens to be paying him at the time.
Yep.
So his opinion is based off of pretty much exactly what puts money in his pockets. He likes to cater to only people that are going to pay him.
Yeah.
So his opinion is purchasable. If you've got enough money to put behind him, he is on your side.
Where is it? There's this
Sounds like
video of a veteran from 2010. I'm going to turn this volume up so you guys on the podcast can hear it too.
Sisters and brothers, thanks everyone for being here. We're from the organization March Forward. We are here to say to all those serving in the Army, and the Marines, and the Air Force, and the Navy, that you have the absolute right to refuse to take part in these criminal wars, and that's a right that all of you should exercise. You have no reason to go put your life on the line and kill and die for profit. We've been to Iraq. We've been to Afghanistan. And we know what these wars are really about. And we joined the military for many reasons. Because we need a college education. Because we need a job. Because we need health care. And then we joined the military. And they tell us that our enemies are poor people in caves in Afghanistan. Or poor people in deserts of Iraq. But we've been to those countries. And we know that our enemies are not other poor people abroad. Our enemies are the people that laid us off from our jobs. That denied us health care. That make it impossible to get an education. Our enemies are not in the poorest countries on the planet, but right here in the richest one. The occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan alone are costing over $700 million every single day. This is a crime. Every single day. While so many of us are hurting, well, I think all of us here, and the vast majority of people in this country, would agree that we can spend $700 million a day better than bombing people that we have no reason to bomb. We can spend $700 million a day rebuilding those countries we've destroyed. We can spend $700 million a day caring for the veterans we get home when they get home, and then we can spend $700 million a day giving every single person health care, a college education, a job, and a livelihood, and a home. That's who we need to be spending our money on. But this government is not going to do that. They're not going to use the money in that way. They're not going to end the wars. And they're not going to do it because it's not our government. It's their government. It's the government of the rich. It's the government of Wall Street, of the oil giants, of the defense contractors. It's their government, and the only language that they do. Because we all know things are bad. We all see the atrocities on TV. We read about it. We experience it. People always ask, what do I do? We always want to know what to do. Do we vote? Do we support a politician? Do we join an organization? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what we do. It's simple. We fight. We fight and we fight and we fight and we shut down our workplaces. We shut down our schools. We shut down the streets. We shut down business as usual. And we fight until we force the people in there to do what the people out here want. And that's how we're going to get around it. We're going to fight until there's not one more bomb drop, not one more bullet fired, not one more soldier coming home in a wheelchair, not one more family slaughtered, not one more day of U.S. imperialism. Let's fight to make that happen. We can do it today, and in the days ahead, we have to fight to end these wars and create a better world system, brothers.
Okay.
So
How long ago was that put up?
2010.
2010.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, we're going to fight every day till we make this happen. It's 2019.
Yep.
So this was...
Almost 10 years ago.
This was
no, it's
put up-
2020 now.
Yeah. 10 years ago. This was put up literally before Trump even became president.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but it
So-
still applies.
Oh, it definitely still applies. I agree.
Fucking Trump just spent $2 trillion sending all these people and fucking starting this war.
All this money. And
$2
it's basically to make
trillion
money to...
We're already way past what we should be in the national debt.
In the meantime, the weapon constructors in which pockets he lives...
So, from what I'm gathering, and this is from what I've been reading the past couple of days since you announced this as the Tea Time with Honey. From what I gather, the progression of this thing so far has been there was a military strike that took place where Iraq had made some sort of strike that actually ended up killing some U.S. military personnel.
Okay.
And there was retaliation in the form of, I can't remember exactly what off the top of my head. I don't know if they were talking about sanctions or so on and so forth, but I remember reading about the raid on the U.S. Embassy there, and then we counteracted with a strike that ended up killing the Somali commander.
Yep.
Somali, not Iranian commander. It's just the name. Sorry, in my head. But the thing that gets me is Iraq is saying, well, you killed one of our commanders. Our response is going to be military versus military.
Yeah.
The man that leads our country, that was his response right there. He is warning that if Iran, my apologies, retaliates in any way, even if it's military versus military, we are going to attack cultural sites.
Yeah, that too.
So we're going to attack Iran's people.
Yeah.
We're not talking military versus military.
They're going to be targeting schools and hospitals and fucking
we're talking killing innocent people.
Yeah.
That have nothing to do with this war. And you saw, I don't know if you've seen the video where they have government officials in Iran, the lawmakers in Iran are all standing in what would be their version of our Senate, our House, whatever, all standing around chanting "Death to America."
Yeah, and fucking...
Not just regular people. These are literally their lawmakers chanting "Death to America."
Yeah, I just saw an article where the president was like, we're chanting "Death to America," but what we really mean is death to the American leaders. Not the United States citizens. Death to the people that are running the shit. The oil fucking companies and Trump and his administration and the lawmakers and the people who are enforcing this unnecessary fucking war.
Yeah. And while you're at it, those weapon constructors get enriched by war.
Exactly. Fucking... I love how we have $2 trillion just at hand when it comes to fucking bombing some Middle Eastern fucking country, but we don't have the money for healthcare or education or fucking shit that we actually fucking need, fucking any kind of programs to help the homeless communities that people are so fucking concerned about apparently all of a sudden. Everyone's screaming about how Nancy Pelosi's district is where she lives fucking is like overrun with homelessness and fucking junkies and this and that and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, but what the fuck are any of you doing to solve that? You guys give so much of a shit when it comes to fucking bombing the rest of the world, but you don't give a shit about your own people who are here, who actually fought for the fucking country. Most of these homeless citizens are fucking veterans.
Yeah, but you understand that Trump supporters only give a shit until Trump's mentioned something.
Yeah.
And he only gives a shit about anything just to make his point. Because if he knew they were homeless, what did he do as the president?
What are you doing? Do you not see the fucking homeless communities out in fucking Washington, D.C.? Do you not see the homeless communities in New York and Boston and fucking in all these major cities, in Houston and Los Angeles?
Yeah. Especially when homelessness in New York is in partly thanks to him and people like him.
Yes, exactly. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, God.
And the plot thickens.
World's kind of going to hell in a fucking...
That's the
finely
thing,
crafted handbasket.
That's the thing, though. We act like it's going to hell, like this is something that's just suddenly happening, like it's new, but it's not new. This has been happening for so fucking long, and people see it happening in front of them, and nobody does anything. Nobody can do anything anymore. Fucking, like...
Well...
Nobody believes in fighting the
government.
government.
It's not that nobody can do anything. Again, we were actually discussing this earlier when we were discussing the movie.
Yeah.
But we have... put ourselves in a pretty bad position as a society. The mass consumerism of social media, that idea that everybody needs to and has to be famous. You know, I do this podcast with you guys for my own enjoyment. If we make money off it, so fucking be it. And in all honesty, my end game, if we end up starting something that makes a bit of money, you know, my end game is a charitable end game. You know, I eventually would like to make this a little bit bigger, let our podcast network get a little bit bigger, you know, have a couple of other shows that we run, and eventually I would like to start making charitable donations to the right fucking places.
Yeah.
Things that actually make a difference and not, you know, hold us back as a society. That being said, there's not enough people with the mindset of using what they have for the greater good.
Yeah.
You know?
No, everything's for profit now. Like, I saw this meme earlier that's like, all of my friends fucking, like, they don't have hobbies anymore. Because everything has to be a hustle. Everything has to, like, make you money. Everything has to bring in some kind of income. And, like, it's we can't afford hobbies anymore.
No.
And everyone likes to talk about how great the fucking economy is and this and that, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but I'm working several jobs and I can still barely make it to the next paycheck.
Put that in perspective for a minute. You know why the economy is doing well right now, right?
It's
when they
not!
Say, no. Look, understand what they mean when they say,
oh yeah, no, it's doing well for rich
great.
people. It's doing well for the upper fucking classes.
It means that 1%.
They get to pay us shit.
Because they got fucking tax cuts.
They get tax cuts and they get to pay us shit.
It means they're making more money, they're keeping more money.
Yep.
More money is being put in their pockets. It doesn't mean that your average citizen is making better money.
That's like my boss looking at me and saying, oh, the economy is better just because they got a fucking Mercedes or some shit. Like, which, by the way, Chris,
your boss.
I'm not assuming, I'm not saying that, like, you're doing better than me or anything like that.
But it's also your boss.
It's a metaphor.
Did you just get a Mercedes, Chris?
No,
Can
she
I see
didn't.
it?
She didn't.
Right? No, it's.
But my boss is the shit. She's awesome. I love her.
But it is the truth, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's like. Exactly what's happening. Fucking.
Like, no, you don't need a raise. Look at my Mercedes.
Exactly.
It's the people up here who are saying things are fantastic, while the people under their feet are going, where?
Really?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is this fantastic? Tell me. Explain to me where the great economy is, because it's not happening for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm living in my little hole in the wall, and that trickle down economy is not trickled my way.
Everyone's so afraid of Bernie becoming there's my trip.
You did what I do.
They're scared of they see communism under their beds, and they're afraid because these are people that are ignorant. They cannot separate Muslim from terrorists the same way they cannot separate socialists from communists.
Exactly.
Not the same damn thing, people.
Fucking everyone's so afraid of Bernie becoming president because of socialism is the devil. But, like...
And what exactly is this?
Exactly.
Well, we'll even know. Is this so
Capitalism
really?
is not fucking working for us.
It's really not.
Capitalism is not beneficial to 90% of the fucking country.
No, it
Like-
definitely isn't.
One man should not be able to buy out the entire fucking world. Jeff fucking Bezos.
Yeah.
No,
He has more money than anybody. He shouldn't be able to have that much fucking money and still not pay taxes and still not give back to the fucking economy, still not fucking do his part. Oh yeah, he came up with a fucking company that ships and sells fucking packages and bullshit, whatever. Like, come on, bro. Like, he's not paying taxes, he's not contributing to the country, he's not doing anything good with his life.
No.
He's a fucking leech, bro. Oh god!
A rich leech.
That's all they are. That's all the fucking rich 1%ers are. They're fucking leeches. They like to suck the fucking working poor dry. Until we get to the point where we feel like we have to fucking kill ourselves, or we have to fucking devote the rest of our lives to serving the country in the military and probably fucking dying in active duty because we can't afford to survive anymore, because we can't afford to fucking...
And that's where that gentleman's plan falls apart, by the way.
Yeah.
People are too afraid to walk out of their jobs and shut things down because the way that they've created... They basically made you feel like you were immediately replaceable in your job. I don't feel
That's the
terribly
thing.
secure where I am right now.
Yeah.
If somebody woke up tomorrow and said, you know what, you're not really working out here, they've got somebody ready and waiting to take my job.
Exactly.
You know,
fucking, I'm just a proofreader at my newspaper. I can get easily replaced with no problem. There's no qualifications to my job.
If I were to stand up and make the kind of stand that gentleman was talking about way back in 2010, in all honesty...
it's not a realistic expectation.
Right, because you have to expect that not only you would walk out on your job and try to shut things down, you have to expect that the people that would be willing to take your job thereafter, because they're hurting too, would also stand up with you.
And then fucking the people that are actually trying to fucking jump on these jobs, just trying to make ends meet, they get called fucking scabs.
Well, you gotta understand, there's too many... I don't know, I'm trying to find the best way to say it. The problem with that is that there's too many cowards, not enough brave ones.
Yeah.
Too many cowards, not enough brave ones. A lot of us are too scared to sacrifice our comfort and our way of life for the greater good.
Because where that would work, the only way that a plan like that would work is literally if you walk out on your job and then your boss also walks out on the job and leaves nothing but the CEO and the owner holding their own.
Yeah.
That is where it would have to go. That's how powerful that statement would have to be, is everybody would have to band together and say, this is actually what's best for us as a country. Right? But so many, this is that whole that don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah.
If you believe that anybody in your life right now really gives a fuck about you, that's fantastic. But when it comes right down to it, if you go to your job and you were to try to get everybody, I mean literally everybody within your job, to stand up and walk out for a day just to try to shut the country down, do you think that a single one of your bosses would do that?
No.
They'd be
No.
like, oh, well, we can give you the time off, but we're going to be here. Maybe.
I don't know,
If you have a nice
I
boss,
don't
he
know.
might.
My boss is pretty great, man. Like, she's pretty, like, hip with all the
things that are going on, yeah.
yeah, it's the social justice.
Well, you also work for a newspaper.
Yeah.
That's the difference right there. You
So
work for a newspaper.
that helps because of the type of work that you're gonna find people that are down with the cause in communication outlets.
Yeah.
But for example, in our industry,
Right?
Yeah, no, I just...
No.
CCS don't give a fuck.
Don't call out the job.
Ah!
Don't do that. Plenty of people at the job watching here.
That's right.
I
I can't get fired from there, though.
I'm
No, you
you can't. I need my job tomorrow.
Yeah.
not ready yet.
What do you think is currently paying for this?
Yeah.
Good.
Shit.
Yeah.
I love you, CCS. Love you. Love you. Love you.
Please don't fire him.
Yeah.
Them.
We actually had Miss Robin was watching one of our episodes. We got to, and she came in on the perfect episode, by the way. She came in on the Repo the Genetic Opera episode.
Oh, nice.
Where we had the lovely discussion about Omar and his buddies making fun of him for watching musicals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
I believe that was Seth's first time back with us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to get ripped by my friends a lot back then.
By the way, speaking of Seth, where are you? You home sleeping?
That's the mystery. That's the great mystery.
Miss B's here.
What's up?
We missed your tea time. I didn't even think about it. I should have called you and see if you could remote in the tea time.
I could have.
And I didn't even think of it. I am so sorry. I wanted to apologize because I'm sitting here I could have called her and be here, I'm going to put you on. And we could have done the tea time with honey thing.
Yeah, man.
So I apologize
It's
to
all gravy.
your listeners, our viewers. But no, and now me being in the position that I'm in. I have 3 children, my daughter, my son, and my daughter's boyfriend that could all be legitimately affected if we have a draft that's instituted.
Yeah.
We got you. I mean, you're young enough that they can still draft you right in.
Yep. And I promise you, I will die out there.
You saw
I
the
am not
movie?
physically capable of those kinds of things.
I'm the kid in the gang that goes, shit, trouble. You know where trouble isn't? Over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Do you know where trouble isn't? Yeah.
That's me.
I'm willing to die for a reason.
I'm not willing to die for this fucking country.
That's where I was going. I have kids. I die for them.
As it currently stands, I would die for this country's citizens, but I would currently not die for my government.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. And that's...
I'll stay right here and I'll fight the government. Fuck you guys.
You know, I got my neighbors. I try to know them as much as I can. I know the dudes over at 7-Eleven across the street. I know the guy that lives below me and his girl of many, many years. You know, these 2 folks that are having a rough time physically and mentally. I know the dude above me, even though I don't like him very much. I know him, you know, and I don't like him mainly because he's kind of a dick. I had to have him write a letter for me.
Damn.
He yelled at my wife and my daughter at one point, but it was all over literally, you need to shut the window in the hallway.
Oh.
I have a window on my landing,
Yeah.
right in the hallway over here, that he kept opening up, and during the summer I didn't have a problem with it. It's whatever. It's just a little
During the
extra
winter,
air.
it's fucking ridiculous.
But he opened it on a sub-zero day one day, and that is when I had the problem. It's
Yeah.
I pay for the heating on this level. Heat rises. You get to keep it at the top. I have to fucking freeze down here because you want to open a window.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying for that.
Why would you open that window and leave it open if you live up there?
His justification is he opens the window because downstairs, my lower neighbors, the people below me, his girl has cancer,
Yeah.
and so to regulate the pain, she smokes a lot of pot, and so that odor permeates the entire building, and it stays in the hallway for the most part. But he was opening the window so that the odor would go out the window instead of upstairs.
But that is a beautiful odor.
Well. So that is what I got that message from his sister who speaks English. He does not.
Yeah.
He speaks very little English. His response to me was stinky, stinky, stinky. That's all he could tell me. He couldn't explain what odor he was calling stinky. I didn't know if I was making a smell, if the people down there were making a smell.
Stinky.
And my former landlord would not do a thing about it. He was that guy. He was the don't give a fuck guy.
Yeah.
I make my money off this apartment building, and I do what I have to make sure that I make my money. That was that guy. The new landlord
You're bare minimum type of guy.
Is fantastic, and he is a mediator. He will, if you have a problem with the guy here, you have a problem with the guy here. If it's a legitimate problem, you come to him and say, look, dude, I'm paying for all the heat that's going out this window over here. You got to do something about the dude upstairs. You know what he did? He went and put in ventilation in different areas so that we could expel things. He has sealed up different drafts in different areas, and it's made it so that the smell doesn't go up to the guy's apartment anymore.
Yeah.
So he fixed the problem. The dude doesn't open the window anymore. That is the kind of people that I need in my life. That was actually, I was leading to a story about what we were doing. That's the kind of people that you need in your life.
Of course.
You have those people that sit here and they're like, I'm here to make my money. I can give a lesser fuck about anybody around me. All right. When I go to work, I am trying to be friends with everybody. I like everybody unless you give me a fucking reason to fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And I don't have many people on that shit list. Because I'm going to tell you something, I'm a tolerant human being. I am more tolerant than I probably should be. My wife curses my existence every day for it. Because I brought some people into our lives and tolerated some serious shit from people, all in the vein of being a good guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, people have walked on me because of it. But I have just as many people that I enjoy having in my life because occasionally I have to tolerate a little shit. It's like, well, I have to understand that other people have their own things, too. And what most people perceive as a personal slight is literally not. It's like, okay, you know, I did X. And this person immediately goes to, well, you know what, you did that, so fuck you, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
You have those.
And it's like, well, I didn't do this because I hated you or I was making a personal slight against you. This is what I do. This is literally, these are the set plans that I have in my life when we get together and we hang out. And just because I happen to do this and you may not have liked it doesn't mean you should excommunicate me. A lot of people just would rather excommunicate and not deal with differences in their lives. Yeah. Well, no, not everybody's on your level. Not everybody is the exact same as you. You got to deal with shit.
Sometimes you can never expect people to be the way you're going to be.
So there needs to be more mediation, needs to be more understanding, more people willing to fucking talk to each other. And I was going to say, put the phones down and talk, and then I looked at both of you and you're on your phones.
You can say that. No, you can still say it.
You can totally say that. Put the fucking phones down.
I don't have a choice. If I had my phone, I'd probably have it in my hand too. But it's up there.
Could take turns.
Yeah.
I got the computer in front of me.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
put the computer down. Everybody's down.
You know, honestly, 10 years ago, if I was in a room doing pretty much the same exact thing, I guarantee you, not everybody would have a screen sitting in front of them.
Yeah.
But it's a cancer that we're dealing with right now in our country. Is that everybody, doesn't matter how poor or rich you are, everybody has got a screen. Everybody has got that thing that allows them to detach from society. And it's about taking that phone and putting it down and having a conversation with the person in front of you.
True.
Do you know how many times I've gone out to restaurants recently and I've seen entire families of fucking people all on their phones and the waitress is trying to talk to them to get their order and they're just doing whatever they're doing on their phones. And the entire time they're sitting there eating their meal, they got their phones in their hands. Not a single person at that table is communicating
talking to
with
each other.
Who knows? They could be texting each other.
I say...
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I know some people that like go that far to like they're sitting right next to each other and they're texting each other.
I want an anti-social network restaurant. I would love to open a restaurant that every table has a lockbox at the table, and you are forced to put your phone in that lockbox, and the waitress locks the lockbox and takes the key, and you don't get it back till you've paid for your check.
Oh, you can scramble the data signal.
Oh, you can do that. I mean, there's several buildings that actually put up scramblers so that, or not scramblers, but dampeners.
Yeah.
So that it dampens your ability to get your Wi-Fi signal from outside, but that does not make you put your phone down.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't. There's still plenty of things that you can do on your phone.
Yeah.
What you, like I said, a lockbox at your table.
We've been talking and I've been playing a game.
Right. You don't get that key back until such time as you paid for your bill.
I think, like, I like the idea of the little boxes for the phones, but I don't think they should lock, just in case of, like, emergencies.
Well, I mean, you can have emergency phones at the facility.
Yeah.
Obviously. You know, I mean, somebody needs to call 911. You have phones that the business can use.
Or you should have the ability like, or getting a phone call at a restaurant, like back in the day. If you had a bar you frequented, somebody could call you at the bar.
I mean, like, personal family emergencies. Say, like, someone gets shot and killed and their family's out to dinner and they're waiting for them or some shit. Get a phone call.
Well,
like,
if
they're going to need to get to their phones.
If there is a likely... Like, if your phone's... Like, if you're not supposed to use your phone, but if your phone is ringing, there needs to be an out.
Yeah.
Like, my phone... You leave your ringer on.
I say
okay.
give it, like, a super strong magnet.
Right.
That's difficult to open.
But no, I mean, I still agree with locking it in there, but if your phone's going off, there should be the option of, hey, flag down your waitress, hey, somebody's calling me, I need to be able to use my phone, you know. But obviously, the main point being is that you're locking your phone away in an area that it's at your table, you know. Maybe even just give one of the patrons, like, hey, that mom or dad is going to hold on to the keys, and, you know, you don't get to use your phones. Nobody at the table gets to use their phones till the meal's done. You know why? Because, and let me tell you, the first time you go out to that restaurant with your family, there's going to be some fights. You know there is.
Yeah, because at that time, some people be on the phone because they're avoiding to saying certain things.
How many fucking families know how to communicate right now? Like, let me tell you something.
Not many.
Let me tell you something. I have trouble communicating with my own children. I really do. And it's not for lack of anything other than the fact that everybody has their own screen. If you look at my house right now, everybody has their own telephone. There is a television in my living room. There's a television in the oldest bedroom with her boyfriend. There's a television in my fucking kitchen. I have a computer. My oldest daughter has a laptop. My youngest has a laptop and a tablet.
Yeah. I saw the pictures with Surface Pro and fucking... I'm so excited. He hasn't got it yet, but when he gets his next paycheck, Fred is going to take me to Best Buy and get me a Surface Pro. And
Nice.
I would go to Dell in the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Their financing through Dell is actually fantastic. That's where we got ours.
I think he's trying to, like, pay in full up front.
Oh, if he's going to pay in full up front, go wherever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You know, find the best deal you can find. But if you're looking to do it in payments, I would go through the Microsoft store in the mall.
Right now, he's looking at the $600 tablet and he wants to throw the like $200 down for insurance.
Okay, so
at Dell at the mall, you can finance a Surface?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can anything in their store you can finance through. So Dell itself, if you go to the Dell website, you can't purchase a Surface. You can't go to the Dell website and purchase.
But they
the
have
Surface.
them at their store.
But if you go to the Microsoft store, their main financing is through Dell. So any computer, anything that you have, that you can even finance an Xbox through Dell if you want to, which I may do eventually. But I got my PlayStation right now. I don't need it. I'm waiting until Troma comes up with their own app. They have their own streaming service, and I'm like, you kind of missed the ball there.
Yeah.
I mean, find somebody to come up with a decent streaming app for you, because, you know, if you're going to have people streaming, people want to be able to do it on their phone or from devices. They don't want to have to hook into the internet just to stream the movies. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to have to pick up my computer every time that I want to watch a movie on Troma now.
Yeah.
I love Troma, don't get me wrong. You guys know how much I love Troma, and you guys have been abused by how much I love Troma.
Yeah!
Yeah! I will. I tell every single episode we got to bring it up at least once. I have destroyed my friends in such a traumatic way.
I think Seth is traumatized.
Seth hasn't been around lately. He's been in and out of some
Traumatized.
He's traumatized.
There you go. I wasn't even paying attention to how he used the word. Traumatized. So anything else you'd like to say about our current situation? I feel like this has, like, if we really did some research, there is a lot more that we could say on the subject. Honestly, when it comes right down to it, it's about the fact that our government it went from what it was, way, way back in the day, what this country was created for was a government for the people and by the people.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
And it is now a current government of for some people, by some people.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have any illusion whether or not you are a Trump supporter or whether or not you support whatever the hell it is you support, if you have any illusion that you currently have any control over the shit that the government is going to do, and over what is going on in your own life, then you are sadly mistaken.
What? Illusion.
It is an illusion that you have any control. And I think that it's high time, personally, that we as a collective unbury our asses. Or unbury our heads from our asses, not unbury our asses.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say it either way.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, really.
Whatever's clever.
But we need to collectively just pull our heads out of our asses and realize that even if we were to vote, nothing against Bernie, nothing against Biden, nothing against Trump. Okay, plenty against Trump.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and look into the swamp that was supposed to be drained by our ultra charismatic orange, Mr. Trump. And let's be entirely honest. First of all, the swamp did not get drained. It's just one quagmire replaced with another. We had one big pile of shit, and we have replaced it with an even worse pile of shit. The economy gets better, but it is at the expense of the country's people. So, yes, the economy is better, and the money makers, the ones that want the money, are making more money for themselves. Fantastic. I am so happy that our millionaires and billionaires are that much richer.
Yeah, right?
That being said, when it comes right down to it, it doesn't matter who you vote for in the next election. You can vote for Trump, you can vote for whatever pile of shit that you want to vote for. We should be voting for your average Joe.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking Biden. I'm saying
Pete, whatever the fuck his name is, I kind of like him.
Who?
Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah.
Buttigieg? Buttigieg?
That sounds that name sounds
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Yeah.
That sounds so kind of wrong.
I like him.
Put a Buttigieg on it.
Okay. He faces foreign policy.
I kind of like the Asian guy too.
As Iran seizes Democratic primary.
I didn't know.
I haven't read that. I may have to read that afterwards. I don't know what that's all about.
I like the Asian guy. What's his name?
I have no idea.
You know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're
talking about. The guy with the old school goth pictures.
The real young.
Make America goth again.
He's really young though.
Yeah.
What we need.
Make America think again. He has some other things too.
What we need is your average working man. We need a guy. We need a farmer. We need a guy that was affected by all this shit the farmers had to go through way back when this all hit the fan. All right, way back. It wasn't that long ago, but it feels like fucking decades.
Yeah.
We need your average guy, somebody that is not steeped in politics, somebody that is not a fucking, a politician by. It's not even by trade anymore.
Yeah.
It is literally you are born into political families, and you are raised and steeped in that political. It's just wealthy families putting their best foot forward, and. You got people, lifelong politicians, their families, their children are getting into it. You weren't a politician to begin with, and you've just been raised in a political family all your life. No, you're out.
Yeah.
I think that the next election should be full of those people. Should be full of your average working Joe. People that are not lifelong politicians. I think if you've been in the Senate, you've been in the House for decades.
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be term limits to that shit?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding me? The fuck? For the Senate, for Congress, for the House?
Done. Yeah, a couple of years, you're out.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be the same old guys over and over again with the same old agenda.
It's never gonna change.
There should be term limits, period. I don't care if you're a mayor, you're a treasurer, you're a secretary, you're in the political system. There is a term limit.
Yeah.
Period. You serve your government for a certain period of time, and then you fucking move on. And yeah, fine. You move from being mayor to governor. That's one thing. Okay. You move from governor to Senate, and you go that way. You can make a pretty decent lifelong career of moving up in politics.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be a guy who's literally, hey, I hit the Senate, and I've been here for the better part of 20 years because nobody's running against me, and everybody knows my name. You shouldn't be there for that long a period of time.
No, definitely.
But, how would people be purchasable if
you couldn't buy those.
they weren't in a position to be purchased? Mm-hmm. It's much more difficult to deal with the new guy.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the new guy's about. We don't want that. So nobody's going to vote for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right!
So, moving on from the depression and into the pitch. We're going to go ahead and dole out a few cards here. We're going to let you pick out our plot points. Okay. Hopefully and you can pick out our character. You just take the deck here. I don't have to spread out the cards. I don't know why I did that. It's like I spread out the cards and almost everybody instinctually picks the middle of the deck.
It looks good on camera.
I'm gonna pick for here, and I'm gonna pick the bottom of the list, and let's see what we got. And who wants to read out our first pitch here?
Oh.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, so
I'm gonna ruin whoever's idea is first. Ready? Okay, put an idea together.
I have a European prince with an embarrassing fetish.
Okay.
Discovers a map leading to a legendary treasure hoard.
Okay. So I'm going to ruin this. I'm going to ruin it right from the get-go. You ready?
Okay.
My note is we need to cast Donald Trump as the protagonist.
A prince with an embarrassing fetish.
So
interesting.
Golden showers.
Donald Trump needs to be the good guy.
No.
No, they want him as the protagonist.
The protagonist. That means
the good guy.
He is the good guy in this film.
He's just the main character is the protagonist.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He needs to be the guy that drives the story forward.
Yeah.
There has to be an antagonist, one that...
He doesn't need to be good, though.
I say, we could kind of make him the good guy. Bear with me when I say this. Okay, so we've got Donald Trump playing a European prince with an embarrassing fetish who discovers a map leading to a legendary treasure hoard. Okay, so we're going to cast Donald Trump as the European prince. First of all, I don't know how he's going to do that. Whatever, it's a European country that apparently speaks fluent. But that being said, we could make him the protagonist like Lex Luthor believes he is the protagonist of his own story.
Yeah.
See, Lex Luthor never saw himself as a villain. He always felt he was protecting the entire world from an alien onslaught. And I have an itch on my nose I've got to take care of. So just think about... You guys discuss amongst yourselves for a minute while I take care of said itch on nose.
Okay.
And,
So what will we do? Yeah, please. I guess, yeah. I don't know if actually he thinks he's doing anything good. He just pretty much looking up for
something good.
I don't think he really thinks that.
He honestly, truly believes that he's like some kind of godsend.
Well, you saw that article that they had recently where he basically says that God is on our side.
Yeah. He outs himself as the chosen one. Come on.
Well, evangelicals have outed him as the chosen one, too. So I don't know what that one is. Maybe a chosen number one? Like, as in bathroom movement?
He's one of those.
So I feel like the movie could go back and forth between the perspective of Donald Trump. I say Donald Trump lives in almost a world like he pictures everything almost like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's half cartoony.
Yeah.
Everything seems sunny and happy, and he thinks that he is doing absolute good the entire time. And then you go back to the real world where you have other people who are constantly fighting against the shit that he's doing. Okay, so he believes he's this European prince who discovers the map for the legendary treasure hoard. What map are we doing? Will we do like a Last Crusade kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because he believes he is the chosen one?
Absolutely.
So he discovers a map to the Holy Grail in Israel.
Oh my god.
And he is not actually a European prince. He discovers the map and he decides to masquerade as a European prince.
He does think he is a European prince, though.
He decides to masquerade as a European prince. I can even say that Donald Trump goes so far as to put on some tanning agent to make himself a little darker than he currently is.
That's not far from like what would actually happen though. So
Yeah, I see it.
yeah, it's definitely
He's already
realistic.
using the orange tanner.
Exactly.
Might as well just give him a different shade. So who is the antagonists in this film? We gotta. I like John Turturro as an antagonist. So we were talking about the people who are pushing back against Trump in this. Mm-hmm. And you go from his perspective of everything, his weird kind of sunny perspective and these villains in his eyes, to who are actually the protagonists of their own story in reality.
Okay.
So I like John Turturro. Have anybody else?
The antagonist?
The antagonist. The guy
The antagonist, I like John Turturro. I like...
is it Cal Penn? Is that what his name is?
Who?
The guy from Harold and Kumar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Am I thinking of the right guy?
I like John Turturro as an antagonist.
Because he's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And he should have Luis Guzman as a sidekick.
But I want to cast him in a different kind of role, because he's used to playing kind of goofy, silly characters. I want him to be dead serious.
I mean, he
this.
was in that Superman movie, Superman Returns.
Yeah.
He was one of Lex Luthor's little, like, henchmen. Fucking science guy.
Yeah.
I like John Turturro as an antagonist, and I like this guy as his sidekick, Luis Guzman.
Yes.
Oh, yes, definitely. There's also another guy that I really like for this film, an elder. And I can't remember his name worth the life of me. He was, you remember Mr. Deeds? The guy that smokes the pipe the entire movie? He was sort of like a...
Hang on.
Yep, hanging on.
On hanging.
Coming up with a name. See, this is what Google's wonderful for. If you have... This is the reason to have your phone up.
Yeah,
to
man.
research, to educate yourself. But that guy...
Eric Avari,
yeah, I like him. He was fantastic in that film. I would even...
Okay.
Yes, exactly,
right.
That gentleman. You can put a face on the name.
There you go. Oh,
Right.
yeah. Definitely.
He would be fantastic in that film. There's a lot of folks that would be fantastic as sort of guys pushing back against Trump. Because what you're going to do is you're going to have the two different versions of these guys in Trump's eyes.
Yeah.
So you have in Trump's eyes, you see these kind of goofy, bumbling, almost Three Stooges fellas. That he sees these bumbling villains that he's pushing back against. He's trying to, basically get the Holy Grail.
There's two people I'm thinking for this movie.
Prove himself the chosen
We just
one.
cast Robert De Niro as his assistant that really hates him.
Okay.
At the end, Robert De Niro should throw that bag of shit in his face too.
We're not giving Trump any extra work, so we're gonna pull Alec Baldwin in and have him do his SNL impression of Donald Trump.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Alec Baldwin. But Robert De Niro. Well, no. I would like the real Donald Trump, so Robert De Niro could throw the bag of shit on his face at the end of the movie.
Well, we can have the real Donald Trump to
receive the bag of shit. Definitely,
we don't tell him what the cameo is about. We just say, "Okay, I'm on set. What do you need?" And uncut.
Yeah.
Just a face full of shit, and then we're done.
Right before the credits.
We only needed the one take. Thank you.
And we should tell it after. There once upon a time, a prince, and you already know who I'm gonna say should narrate it.
Who?
Morgan Freeman.
I want to throw Jeffrey Dean Morgan in there.
A prince who was full of shit. Fucking people.
Have James Earl Jones narrate it.
James Earl Jones too. Yeah, James Earl Jones. Once upon a time, there lived a young prince, and show him looking at himself in the mirror, because I'm sure he admires himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Forever.
So some kid just played Donald Trump as a young man, accidentally pulls some hair out of the back. Oh, and then that's where his famous comb over came from.
Yeah.
I want his fucking general to be Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as
Jeff.
Negan.
Yeah.
Oh, I could. Oh, his general is. I want his general to be almost Stalin-esque. Just really, really, just the entire time, just angry at all times, just always angry. Even when he's supposed to be happy, he's angry. Even in Trump's cartoony world, he looks at the guy and the guy is just fuming. Mm-hmm. He's got a big old smile on his face, but the eyes say, "I'm gonna kill you."
I like. We should put some other leaders, other world leaders in this movie that are also against Prince Trump. Prince Donald the First.
What are we gonna have, like Trudeau or?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Absolutely, throw Justin Trudeau in there.
Justin Trudeau, people from Middle Eastern countries. Have this guy Monk. What is his name? Tony Shalhoub. Tony Shalhoub played one of those leaders. Who else?
I'd say. I just got okay. I'm gonna take a complete left-hand turn with the whole thing. I don't know why I just went.
Put a few hot older ladies that are accusing him of rape back in the days. Jamie Lee Curtis, one of them.
Have you ever seen? Yeah. There's two movies that come to mind that would be perfect for this. That you could do almost a spoof of said movie. Have you ever seen the movie It's a Mad, 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 Mad World?
No.
Or the more recent movie, Rat Race.
I feel like I did, and I just don't remember it.
The whole idea, I think Rat Race was actually run by, what's his name? Rowan Atkinson from Mr. Bean. Where he basically has all these people get together and they have to get to a certain point to get $1 million.
Yeah.
I say it be sort of like that, where you have all these world leaders who are trying to prove themselves the chosen one.
I like it.
And they are all descending upon this one point in Israel to get the Holy Grail.
Okay.
They all receive this mysterious map. And the Holy Grail is the prize at the end of the stinking rainbow.
I like it.
So you literally have just you could actually flesh this whole thing out primarily with SNL personnel.
Yeah.
Because everybody has done different takes on different leaders throughout the world. You could bring in, oh God, Colin Jost did one.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
I know that Kate, what's her last name?
Winslet?
No. Kate Winslet. No, I'm thinking of the girl from the Ghostbusters films.
Oh. The Google.
All sorts of Kates are like running through my head right now, and I can't.
All the Kates. Kate Hudson.
Kate. Kate. Not Kate Hudson either. Yeah, that's Dreamgirls. Different person altogether.
I know. No, don't worry. We'll get them.
We're gonna get it because that's what you do when
with the Google.
With the Google. You see, I got it all here. All the ones that are coming up immediately. When you put up Kate, it comes up Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. Which I'm not looking for that. What are we doing here?
It's about Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon, there we go. Kate McKinnon's done several. We have a whole scene where whoever does, I think Colin just did Justin Trudeau, if I'm not mistaken.
You know who should be in that movie?
And we have this whole scene where he's begrudgingly taking like Canadian actors and singers back over the border.
You know who should be in that movie? Dave Chappelle, President Black Bush.
Yeah.
You ever saw that character?
I think so.
No. Well, I like that. But I was when I think about I'm thinking of Obama. I'm thinking about Key and Peele taking over their...
Dave Chappelle did a character called President Black Bush. But he was a super ghetto president. So he will be a Black Trump, basically. And he was like...
President Black
At some point, President Black Bush piloted a plane and said, "You saw how I landed that shit? It was like... Bah, 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 bah."
I like Chappelle. I really do. I don't know if he's looking to get back into acting, though.
Chappelle's crazy. I don't think
I'm planning this like it's actually going to happen.
I don't think. Yeah, you act like we're already like hiring people, giving people agents phone calls and shit.
But yeah,
okay. But that's good thinking, though. Well, at some point, one of these shit is gonna hit one day, and we're gonna be able to quit our jobs and say whatever we want.
Hey, you know, I think it would make half of this stuff. Trauma, they ain't gonna pay us though. Trauma doesn't pay. That's the thing, is that's what Trauma is. They are the best at making the least with what they do.
So, yeah, no. Somebody that will pay us. Come on.
We want. I don't know that any of this stuff's going to like Paramount or Universal or
some of this stuff might.
Fox. Hey,
it's
Disney.
Possible.
We got a couple of Disney ideas, don't we?
We've done. I don't think.
Can we clean this up and make it a Pixar film?
Yeah, no, not gonna happen. But I'm sure somebody will be interested. At least Happy Gilmore will look and say, "We could probably do some shit with this." Adam Sandler, if you're watching.
Okay, I am sorry. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would make an absolutely hilarious, like Sausage Party-esque kind of animation. Like just animate the whole thing, and it's all voiceover actors.
Yeah, definitely.
We need more adult animation out there. Okay, what is our second film premise here? Let's see what we got. So now that we've destroyed our idea, this is all going to be tame. It's all nice cards. A little girl and her dog searches for peace in a dangerous radioactive wasteland.
Oh.
I actually kind of like this idea. Okay, this got creepy real quick. So the notes here say, let's add 5 more love interests. That way there's something for everyone.
See, that messed it up, because I was going to say it should be Nico. But no, not anymore.
What?
I would say Nico should be the girl looking for peace in a radioactive wasteland.
When we say little girl, I mean it could be like a...
Oh, a little girl?
It says little girl.
A little girl.
Little girl and her dog. I mean, could there be like she runs across somebody that has like 5 different suitors constantly vying for her interests or his interests or whatever? So there's like the entire story revolves around the little girl and the dog, but we have somebody who's like her protector or something that, like you like I can only refer to this to him because you haven't seen the movie, but 6 String Samurai, where we have a little kid, but the guy's his protector.
That the kids just started to just follow him around.
I've seen a movie called A Boy and His Dog about a boy. This guy. It was actually one of Don Johnson's first films. It's about basically this kid and his dog in a radioactive wasteland, sort of trying to protect themselves. So I see this seeing like a Fallout-esque kind of film where this girl and the dog emerge from some underground, like, I don't want to say lair, but maybe like a bunker where her parents, they all went down into the bunker, and several years later, her and her dog are the only ones to emerge because mom and dad either died in the bunker or whatever, or they went out to try to figure out what's going on, and they never came back.
Yeah.
And she has to go out on her own because the food's dwindled, and she has to figure out what's going on. So I say that's what happens.
Okay.
Post-apocalyptic wasteland. Okay, I don't want to... Anything you guys add.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a little girl. I kind of like the chick that played Apple.
Apple?
In Turbo Kid.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we could make it like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Like maybe she was a little girl to start the movie when they were in the bunker, and she grew up, and the dog's kind of an old, kind of scraggly dog now. What kind of dog are we looking at here?
Great Dane.
The dog is almost a horse. Okay.
The dog is a horse.
Let's go one step further.
She probably rides the horse.
One step further. Bull Mastiff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a big dog.
Yeah.
And it was a puppy when they went into the shelter. And, they're locked in the shelter. It's like they can't say, we don't want this dog here anymore. Because, well, obviously we didn't realize it was going to get this fucking big. Takes up half the shelter. Mom and dad, who are no longer with us. Who do we like?
For mom and dad?
Well, they're only going to be in a brief portion of the beginning of the movie. So we have to have a mom and dad.
Okay, but she grows up in the movie?
Right, so what happens is we start the movie with them going into the shelter. There's a warning. They go to their shelter to avoid whatever's going on. And they're down there for a few years. Mom and Dad go out to check what's going on. Like, if it's safe to go back above, and they never come back. And that's what prompts her to go out into the world.
Okay, I like it.
I like Dwayne Johnson and this girl that's John Legend's wife.
Chrissy
Teigen.
Yeah, but The Rock in this movie is really very, very scary, very overprotective, and very worried type of parent.
Okay.
Not the people princess. I think he will be hilarious in this.
Oh yeah, no, he does a great job as like playing a dad.
Yeah. The game plan.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't really a dad in that. He was sort of like a...
And the Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy, yeah. He can play the father figure pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this type of dad that pretty much wishes he could put his baby girl in a crystal box.
I wouldn't pick Chrissy Teigen.
Just to watch him freak out when she disappears.
Just based off of who we've chosen for our lead, the young lady that plays Apple, Chrissy Teigen and The Rock as the parents wouldn't be believable.
No.
It wouldn't happen. You'd have to have somebody almost as lily white as Apple to make it even remotely believable.
Yeah.
Because Apple's she's a pale girl.
You could get the girl that plays Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter.
Okay. So you're
I'm going for like a weird main character.
I am going to be steeped in Harry Potter soon because my youngest has asked me to be, and would like to sit down and watch the films. But currently, I am not steeped in that lore.
Okay.
So I've watched the first 3 films.
Find the picture.
And I have the last 2 films, but I do not have the actual actress here in the brain pan. So you're gonna have to show me who you're talking about.
I gotcha.
For a non-Harry Potter fan, I've watched a lot of Harry Potter for some reason. I don't dislike them. I like them, but I'm not like... You know how some people is like all about Harry Potter?
Okay, so are we talking about a different person instead of Apple?
Her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, no. She would be playing the character that Apple's playing instead of Apple. Fucking... I don't know, I like her a little more just because she's clever, she's witty.
Yeah.
She fucking, she sees shit that nobody else notices.
She's a quick snap.
Yeah. Like, she sees shit that nobody else notices. She has a better understanding of life and death and fucking,
She's a wise child.
Yeah.
She's like an old soul trapped in a child's body. I enjoyed that character a lot, too.
Okay. There's a young lady who I'm thinking of, and it's not for the mother anyway, and it's not coming to the top of my head, which is a bother. So, Perfect Harmony. There's a TV show that's out there right now called Perfect Harmony, which is about a guy, like a famous Broadway producer that actually takes over like a hometown church choir.
Okay.
And there's a young actress from there that would play the perfect mom. If you're talking either one of these girls.
Yeah.
Opposite to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm trying to, and the thing is that she was also in Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
And you'll know her the second I bring her up. But it's again one of those things where they're people that I recognize physically.
Yep.
The names, just for some reason, Anna Camp.
Story of my life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You see Anna Camp here.
Yeah.
I can turn this around. I'm just trying not to turn this off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she would play the perfect mom in that situation.
Yeah.
Probably.
She's kind of she always plays either very, very self-centered or sweet and doting characters. And her playing the mom opposite to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's. That would be funny to see this big guy who is playing a very meek and worried character. I would say...
Yeah, that I love the idea.
I would say that we should even go so far as to make The Rock watch a bunch of old Rick Moranis movies. Like
Yes.
Rick Moranis from the original Ghostbusters or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That kind of weird I want him to have that kind of quality, a Rick Moranis quality to his character.
Yeah. Something, yeah. That's the type of guy I was thinking. Like, yeah, but, you know, but you're
Always worried about everything.
Yes.
So... And it's her, Anna Kemp. She has to bring him out to go and see if the world is ready for them to exit. And they never come back.
Yeah.
And I'd say that we find the mom, we don't find him.
Okay.
He is forever lost. We eventually find the mom at some point in the story. So it's a journey. It's a girl and her dog's journey to find her parents who have been lost out in this post-apocalyptic world. Where is it? That's the question.
Canada.
Canada?
Yes.
So it's post-apocalyptic, but also almost a tundra. So it's so you're seeing like where we're talking like there's different levels of Canada. So we've got Canadian like icy, snowy.
Yeah, no, I'm
Canada.
thinking like southern Canada.
Southern Canada.
Montreal.
Okay.
Montreal.
So something that could almost be. It could have warmer, colder climates. Because first thing you said Canada, and I got this picture in my head of like a dead midwinter town that is so quiet. It's almost like the scenes from Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Where everything's just covered in a blanket of snow. It's dead silent.
Post-apocalyptic.
Except it's not snow, it's ash.
Post-apocalyptic Montreal, Canada will be dope.
The mixture of snow and ash.
Yes.
And she teaches the dog how to fish and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they hear that bombs.
A fishing bull mastiff will be dope to watch in a movie.
I feel like this isn't a nuclear apocalypse though, right? So we're talking apocalyptic wasteland, but I feel like what happened with the world is the world went into utter chaos.
Yep.
Bombs dropped, worldwide war, just like on every friggin' level. Where nobody pushed that button. All the nuclear weapons are where they still are. To this day, just decaying. So the only sites that are really radioactive are places where these weapons went unchecked.
Yeah.
They just kind of sat there, their casings decayed, whatever. What really happened was disease, famine. You had all sorts of things, everything that just sort of wiped out the human race. And at this point that they exit, it's, I want to say like a decade after they went in there. For the most part, what you're seeing is a land of just homes that were destroyed, abandoned. But Mother Nature has pretty much tried to take back the land. So a lot of animals don't know what humans look like anymore.
Yeah.
You got generations of animals that have never seen a fucking human. So they don't know to be afraid of human beings. And of course, as we're hundreds of years ago, you have just packs of humans, tribes, different tribes that are gone back to old, Indian ways, so to speak.
Went back to their Indian
Some
ways.
of them very vicious, some of them not so vicious. Some of them just are keeping to themselves. So, and that's what you deal. You're dealing with things on almost a gang level.
Yeah.
You have everybody that has, and they're very far spread apart. Like people kind of gathered together, took over one town or whatever.
At some point, they see each other and it's mayhem.
You're not seeing electricity. You're just seeing people fending for themselves at this point.
Yeah, and at some point, this group of people
I mean,
sees this group of people
like,
and
they
it's fine.
completely forgot how to fucking survive or shit. Like you still got engineers and fucking people who understand how solar panels work and shit. Like
There you
Right.
go.
yeah,
You have electricity in certain areas, but when the power grid went down,
yeah,
you don't have electricity on the level of people are watching TVs and playing on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
You've got electricity for practical purposes.
Exactly.
light. That's
Exactly.
it.
Light or machinery to 10 crops, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But past that, you're not really dealing with that kind of thing. You might have refrigeration for food, so on and so forth. But they're not wasting all of their electricity just doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then you got you got the joke stuff. Like you got that one guy that's sitting, you got a local bar, their electricity is generated by, you want your beer today? Ride the bike for an hour. That's what generates the electricity for the bar. And everybody has to take their turn.
That will be good.
Keeps you fit, and then you get your free beer at the end of your hour.
Yeah.
So, and we've gone away from being a capitalist society in most areas. Now, the vicious gangs, they take over city areas. And the docile gangs take over, country areas.
Okay. I like this. I dig it.
Yeah, I definitely like it.
I'm just flapping my gums a lot. You guys feel free to interject.
I'm thinking probably, those group of people will make some action sequences, some great action, because, like you said, everything is going from, rolling with your own pack and a gang mentality of sorts. So some of them are hunter-gatherers, some of them are fishing people, some of them are hunters that go out looking for animals to kill to eat, and they might find that some of them are out there looking for seeds and stuff to plant. So I don't know. It would be nice to see one of them face each other in the prairie and just go at it.
So I want to say that,
and it could see that the agricultural crew are more barbarian type of warriors than the meat-eating hunting people.
So I want to say that we could even. I want to take a weird left turn with this too. Mom and Dad didn't die. We'll bring them back to life now.
They
Mom and Dad didn't die. Here's the thing.
They've been looking for their daughter all the time.
Underground in bunkers, and these kind of people, the people that were underground that were protected
Actually,
from what was going on.
We should have it that she thinks that her parents are dead because of all the destruction that just happened, and she just goes. In the meantime, they're like somehow missed her, lost her, forgot her, whatever the case may be, up there, and they're in the bunker while, every once in a while cut back to the dad being a worried bitch and the mom just, shut the fuck up. She's probably looking for a stew, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Why did something happen? I could never forgive myself. Type of shit.
So I'm going to go sci-fi with this just a little bit.
Okay.
There's a reason why Mom and Dad didn't come back to the bunker. One of the things that happened when this world went down...
They turned into radioactive monsters.
...was one of the diseases that ravaged the planet, rendered most men absolutely sterile. So you have an entire world...
I love it.
That can't be repopulated.
That can't be repopulated, with the exception of the women. Women are not sterile. So you've got tribes of women, they find this guy who has been in the underground bunker forever.
Everyone's trying to fuck the Rock.
So it's an entire
Everybody's trying to fuck the Rock.
And the Rock is scared as shit because that's who he is.
And what the hell? Rock being worried about every single fucking thing. He is definitely a germaphobe. He is definitely just scared of like everything, every little noise.
What is to break me?
And they kidnapped the Rock and then basically imprisoned the wife because... And when she emerges, when the daughter emerges, she's like one of the youngest people that these people have ever seen because they have not been able to breed.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's an entire world of people that are just worried about their existence. Humanity is coming to an end because... Nobody can procreate anymore. The women are fertile, but the men are sterile.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't give the daughter a name, something mysterious that all the tribes that she goes through. For example, she's on her journey. She's just going, right? And she finds all this tribe, and she learns something from each of them. So by the time she finds her parents, she's a teenager, but she's also an expert hunter, a marksman, a warrior, and
as she's
a
going
healer.
on, she's learning to fend for herself.
As she's going on, she's learning from all these tribes, and basically they all call her the roaming one or something like that. And only her parents know her name because, of course, they're her parents. So she probably forgets her name at some point.
So a name that sort of means like wanderer or
the wanderer, roaming, something like that. But she's gonna be the roaming one to all these tribes, and at some point she basically, because everybody had to interact with her, and kind of she wasn't raised by a village, but by different villages because she wants to keep going because she's looking for her parents.
Right.
Basically, them having interacted with her at the end basically bring all these tribes that were warring with each other together. And at some point, one of those tribes knows that there's a bunker underground that all these people were hiding because they're cowards or whatever the case may be.
So you feel there's other people underground in this bunker? So it's not just her parents that went out into the world.
Of course. How else is everybody going to want to fuck the Rock?
Well, I'm just saying that I feel like The Rock didn't give up that information. Like, he may be a coward. He's kind of frightened of everything, but I don't want to say that he's given up the information that there's other people in the bunker.
Oh no, they could have a way of possibly knowing. He probably let it slip as a worried person that he is.
Like, he goes out into the world, turns out he just kind of let it slip that he just came above ground to the wrong person.
Oh, probably they have somebody giving people medical attention out there because of that the radiation rendered everybody sterile. People are getting blood work done down there. There's some nurses and doctors down there. Somebody discovers it, and that first person that discovers it happened to be a woman doctor that also wants to fuck The Rock.
Right. So basically something happens. I mean, I'd have to flesh that out. That seems like a story that needs to happen.
And she tries to keep it low, but she's the one that lets it slip. It's not my fault that you're the only sterile man here. That kind of thing.
You know how they figure it out? Mom's pregnant.
Yeah.
Mom is actually with child when they go out into the world. So that's why they were looking for medical supplies because they didn't have the supplies to be able. They wanted to make sure she'd survive the birth.
She's okay.
So when she's like, she's pregnant, and they realize that he's the one that did it. Hold on, this is a sterile male. She's been imprisoned as a pregnant woman, and they find out, is not sterile, that he's actually fertile, and...
Hey!
Yeah! He becomes property of some tribe that's decided, well, guess what? Now you've got to help repopulate.
He becomes the hot commodity.
I'm going to do what now? No. I'm even nervous when I do that with her.
He becomes the hot commodity.
Yeah, I like that idea. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the more that I hear this, the more that it sounds like... you guys didn't get to see this film with me. Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh, okay.
Well, because the whole premise to Hell Comes to Frogtown is that Sam Hell, played by Roddy Piper, he was one of the few fertile males in a world where most men have gone sterile.
Yeah.
And so the whole purpose was
hell of a responsibility to have, man.
He was a...
Sleep easy, Roddy Piper.
They caught him because he was also sort of a philanderer that was going around and just having sex with random women. He knocked up the daughter of the wrong guy, and they arrested him, and he became government property. They put a chastity belt on him.
Yeah. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Hell Comes to Frogtown was pretty crazy, but yeah. I mean, I think there's all kinds of things that we could do and ramifications we can do out of this story with The Rock being that over-worried parent that happens to be the only sterile man on Earth. So much juice that we can make out of that.
That is like a sci-fi action comedy. That would actually that of all the ideas that we've had, that might be the most marketable.
Right?
I like it a lot.
Me too.
We should probably, we could probably sit down one of these days and just flush that out. Sit down and put it.
Now, mind you, if it wasn't something that got bought by a big company that could actually get The Rock for something like that, there's several guys that you could kind of put in his place that wouldn't mind doing a B-list movie.
John Cena. I need somebody like buff and tough looking to be a meek, worried parent that's actually a wuss.
Dave Bautista
will do great, and he will be down for it.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, more than John Cena, because John Cena does care a lot about his image. Batista don't give a fuck.
Batista's done a lot of like B-level films.
Yeah, but he's done different things, not just the action tough guy.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Done everything for like I kind of liked. If you guys have seen Stuber.
No.
This guy, it was.
I like the name though. Who's
very
Stuber?
on the nose. It was about a guy named Stu who runs an Uber.
And, Stuber?
Yeah, and Dave Bautista is like this loose cannon cop who's also kind of a little. He's like weirdly charismatic in the movie. Honestly, I love the film like through and through. And yeah, as the apocalypse rages on outside here, like ambulances and fire trucks are just blazing by.
It sounded all crazy. It sounded like so much like...
We're talking about the apocalypse and it's happening outside right now. But no, it was a fantastic movie. Honestly, badly rated. We could do it for the the podcast.
We should probably do it. Let's check if it's available on our free usual suspects.
I want to say it's something I'd probably have to pick up. We may have
the name alone. When you said Stuber, for some reason, I got interested. Stuber,
but he basically commandeers Stu's Uber. He calls his daughter, sets him up with the Uber app, and he's like confused. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this, and he calls this Uber and basically commandeers the Uber throughout the entire movie.
He has to drive him to everywhere.
And makes Stu drive him everywhere. And yeah, it was a fantastic film. I loved it anyway. I don't know if you guys will love it the same.
I think Batista's a decent actor for a wrestler.
That's because what WWE is doing right now with their wrestlers, some
of them suck at acting though.
They're trying to breed hybrids just like they do with Disney.
Yeah.
We want our wrestlers to also act because WWE has their own film division now.
Yeah.
So they see the guys that are really charismatic on the mic, and immediately, like The Miz or Randy Orton, they're putting them in movies.
Hulk Hogan, not only Rocky 3, because in Rocky 3 was pretty much a cameo source, but he has done a couple of movies. Hulk Hogan sucks as an actor.
Yeah. You know who I also like for this film? And he's the Big Show. Paul White. Have you seen
the Big Show? Could be
he could play bumbling even as big as he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did. He didn't like Knucklehead. He played this kind of goofy, bumbling guy.
I like The Rock. I like Batista. I like Batista even better than John Cena. Surprised I didn't think of Batista first. Right. But yeah, even one of those two could be the worrying dad. See. I'm sure he will be happy to do it just because it extends his range.
You're used to seeing John Cena kind of poke fun at himself now. You want a guy that doesn't naturally poke fun at himself to see that for like the first time.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and even though he pokes fun at himself a little, he tries to treat himself as a serious actor. You know, everything from Iron Fist to
I didn't care for him in the Transformer movie, the Bumblebee movie.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Dave Bautista.
No, I'm talking about
Iron Fist.
Okay. Yeah, Dave Bautista did good. He's not a bad actor.
Yeah.
No.
He's a decent actor.
I think he could pull that kind of role off just as well as The Rock could.
I saw John Cena on the Bumblebee movie, and I wasn't too crazy about him. It was just John Cena dressed.
John Cena in a lot of things, and he's not that great.
Yeah.
He's so used to like overacting.
I guess that's really what I was thinking. It's true. He's like he goes over the top. Like he tries too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated him in Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
And that is because he was a presence, but they kept his lines down to a minimum.
You know another tough
I like
guy
him in the fucking Fred movie.
You know who will be great for that role too? That is not a wrestler, but he has done tough guy movie. But he could do a worrying dude, Mark Wahlberg. Marky Mark will be great worrying that it happens to be a wuss. He's just really buff.
There's another movie that I'm actually adding to our list that has Mark Wahlberg in it that I don't know if everybody here has seen. The Big Hit.
I haven't seen the movie, but
I don't think I saw it.
I for some reason been into Lou Diamond Phillips is in it, isn't it?
Lou Diamond Phillips is in it. You have Bokeem Woodbine is in it.
Yes, I haven't seen it, but I heard it's
Christina Applegate. He plays basically this kind of doting, worrying hitman in the movie. To the point, he worries so much that the entire film he's constantly downing like Malox, trying to calm down his stomach.
From worrying, his stomach goes
stressed
crazy.
Himself so much he has an ulcer. So he's basically a worrying hitman with an ulcer.
And he carries like he carries some Malox.
He carries Malox on him at all times.
Now I really want to see it. I've seen the thing somewhere.
Yeah.
And Richard Greco is in that movie. One of his last good films.
I've never seen it. I'm surprised I haven't seen it.
Oh, that is a fantastic movie. But they kidnapped the daughter of this guy who's supposed to be like the next like Kurosawa, right? And he made this movie that they thought was going to make a lot of money that just bombed, which is kind of like the big hit because they thought they were going to make a lot of money with that movie and it bombed.
So they want to kill him to see if the movie makes some money.
No, they kidnapped his daughter, thinking that they were going to ransom her for a lot of money. It's like, I don't think you know who you just kidnapped. My dad's not going to give you guys a lot of money. What are you talking about? He could care less.
He's fucked up in the game.
But
now I want to see it.
No, that was a really, really good movie. And
what are we doing next?
Next week we are going to be doing Tammy and the T-Rex.
All right.
Yeah.
It is available free on Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the rated R version, and if it is not, I mean, I could kind of pass the DVD, the Blu-ray around, so you guys could take a viewing of the rated
I have
R
Hulu
version.
now, so I'll jump on it.
I'll be able to tell you like by the end of the day because I can compare run times, the rated R version versus the PG-13 version.
I do not have it on my Hulu subscription.
What do you mean?
I get Hulu through like my phone.
Oh, you know, I wonder if maybe it was like an HBO or Showtime thing.
Hang on. I can order it for like $4 on Amazon.
But you have
Okay,
to
is it the
buy or
rated R
rent it?
version on Amazon? That's the question. There's two different versions of it. There's PG-13 and there's rated R.
I'll check when I get home because I haven't bothered to put Hulu on my phone. Because the stuff I watch on Hulu, I like to be home sitting down to watch. So I didn't.
And hell, I mean, it's Sunday. Maybe we can.
I think it's the PG-13 one.
Because what I'm thinking is maybe we could get together and watch the rated R version. Just have a few beers, and then during Sunday we can actually.
Do it. We should do
We
it
can.
next Sunday.
Do you want to just? I mean, do you want to just plan it Sunday like afternoon? We can get together and.
Yeah.
I think I can.
Okay.
Usually I'm picking up winter in the afternoons, but like.
Mind you, I have Saturdays free too. We don't have to necessarily do it Sunday.
We can
Next
try
Saturday, I'm
for. We can
booked up
try
for
for a
tattoos.
Saturday.
Okay.
We can try for either one. I'm free all weekend
Sunday.
now, so.
We could also, I mean, do it Friday evening.
That to do.
I mean, like I said, I'm free after work 5 o'clock most evenings, Saturday and Sunday free all day.
You know me. I work till late.
What I could do is just mind you, if we do that on Friday, I think Sunday's Seth's free all day. Sunday, he says to me, which is wonderful. We might
I'll
be doing
believe it when I see it.
I mean, it would be wonderful to get it done Sunday, but if we can do it another day, I can always knock out buffers with
just saying he's
Sunday.
free doesn't mean he's gonna be here.
Yeah. I see you, Seth.
The challenge.
I'll
if you
believe
choose
it
to
when I
accept
see it.
Oh, I went to your house the other day, and I had your sister go upstairs and wake you up. And you're like, tell him I'm not going to be able to do it today. I'll get to him later. He said, I'm like, you
What
need
a
to sleep
dick.
now.
That sounds like a hangover.
We're calling you out, Seth. Nah, I wouldn't call him a dick. He just needs.
I'm calling you out.
He parties a lot.
She's calling him out and a dick.
Big boy needs to sleep off his beer. I don't know. But that being said, we can go ahead and tie this up for today. So for the rest of our podcasting crew, thank you for listening again.
Fuck yeah.
Listen to us on. You can listen to us on Facebook. You can watch the live feeds. You can also follow our group. We're on Twitter. And you can follow Miss B, Honeybee Kind.
Yep.
What is it now? Is it Honeybee Kind?
Honeybee Kind on TikTok.
Honeybee Kind on TikTok. And we are across almost all of your podcasting formats at this point. There's a few pay-per places that only like the really, really popular guys, so we're not there yet, but...
But catch us on... Are we still on Spotify?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Catch us there.
We're on Spotify. That's probably the most popular iTunes podcasts. We're on the Google version of what iTunes podcast is. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't use
That's
Android.
messed up.
I don't use Android.
Neither do I. I feel you.
That's messed up.
Castbox, Stitcher, Breaker, and peace. We're out. Goodbye.
Bye.
One love.